Hey everyone, welcome to the Project Cypher podcast, State of the Game, where we dive into the questions you, our amazing community, have been sending our way. I'm your host, Rich, and I'm here with Jamie and Jack. How are you both?
Very good, very good.
Yeah, I'm not bad. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Listen, we've got a lot to cover today, so let's jump straight into the questions, yeah?
All right. Let's kick it off with the first one that I actually received. What made you want to start this server?
This could probably be a very long conversation point, but in short, and it sounds a little cliche, but we genuinely just wanted to create a kind of unique space for roleplay. You know, a good basis for the RP to allow the players to have creative freedom, you know. Obviously, we've all been part of other servers before, and we've learned from all of those. But we kind of just wanted to take the opportunity to make it our own and really take it, you know, to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of wanted a place where everyone feels like they can contribute and, you know, contribute to the overall story. So it's less about being just another server, more about being able to build and create a community-driven experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, really.
Okay, got another question. Would there be whitelist? I think it's a good question because everyone's curious if they'll be able to just get in and join with some special access.
Yeah, we're not going to have whitelist at launch. It's something we'll monitor over time and kind of implement when it's needed. But yeah, at the moment, we just want everyone to have easy access, you know, just to, you know, get the numbers up initially. Like I say, we'll monitor over time, and if we feel the need to implement whitelist, then we'll do it then. But moving on to the next question, we've got, how about resources for new players? Like, are there any resources available, like keybinds and stuff like that?
Yeah. So we're working on a guide that'll cover all of the basics. Ideally, it'll be in a video format where we'll show people how to change keybinds, how to interact with all the NPCs, and just do the basic navigational day-to-day stuff. We'll also have a section on Discord with FAQs and tips and tricks. A lot of people didn't or don't know that you can right-click to use an inventory item.
Huh?
Yeah, baffles. But
Wow.
people didn't know that, so we'll just upload different bits and pieces on how to make life easier. And as I said, there is a lot to learn, especially as everything grows.
There's in-game tutorials too. Not to forget. So we'll try and put in, well, not try, we will put in some good, helpful, useful pop-ups or missions for the basics, like how to get to your job, finding your first car, and all that kind of stuff. And the airport, it's going to give people the opportunity to get to grips with the controls and so on. A little bit of a sort of introduction to the gameplay that we've created in a very hands-on experience.
Yeah, that airport's an experience for like new players. So when you create your first character, you kind of land into the airport. You know, there's NPCs and stuff like that to interact with, and you get shown the keybinds. So you know, it's a nice safe space, if you like, before being kind of launched out into the big wild world, isn't it?
Absolutely, going to be guided well by.
Yep.
So one for you, dirty criminals. How is crime going to be overall? Is it the same system where you need a VPN to do crim jobs? And how quickly or slowly are we looking to integrate criminal activities?
Yeah, so, I mean, just for the sake of simplicity, we're keeping the VPN system in place for some jobs. But we will kind of be expanding on how criminal activities are started in general. It's not just going to just be clock on, do a job for everything moving forward. Yeah, we don't reveal too much. Initially, yeah, get yourself a VPN and get stuck into some of the more, you know, fundamental 5M criminal jobs. But also, you're going to have to, you know, do some discovery to find the other stuff as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is there's a plan to allow growth. So there's a focus on developing new heists and criminal activities, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. Like I said, we're gonna, be pretty tight-lipped on some of it until those are ready to, to roll out. We want some surprises for people as well, but don't expect everything to be done as you've seen it before. Is probably what I'd say on that.
I think just on that, the one big thing that we can say is that everything will be available from day one. All you got to do is find what you need to start doing that thing.
Yep. Good point. Yeah.
So just on the opposing side to that, we have some questions about PD. So how is it going to be run? Who's in charge of PD? And what is the process if you wanted to become PD or EMS? Because it's the same sort of process. We'll take that in the same answer.
The short answer to all of it is, we've got some people in place to help structure both EMS and PD, but we want those to be just temporary positions, So if you kind of feel that you want to be command or you want to have a say in how any of those kind of departments are run, then show us in RP, open a ticket. So we can tell you to do it in RP as well, because we want these positions and we want the whole department and the PD and EMS. We want everything to be RP led and by the community. We don't want it to be a staff run role play server and, the actual mechanics of it, I mean, we're about to hold the first PD meeting that's going to explain to the officers that have already been onboarded about how we want them to operate. Just in terms of like, are we going to be a RoboCop type department, or are we going to be a bit more flexible? Go over some of the SOPs and stuff like that. So, I mean, by the time you're hearing this podcast, that meeting may have already taken place. So this may have been answered for a lot of you already. I mean, for those that aren't going to be LEO, you're going to have to just work with the PD from ground up and get a feel for how they're operating. If you feel that there's something wrong, then speak to us, speak to them, because this is a new server. So we're going to have to develop the department moving forward as well.
Yeah, we want people to be open and give feedback. Like if they see an issue with PD, or if from internally, if someone working in PD sees an issue, raise it.
Yeah, and even on that, I'll just say that we want people to give feedback if they see any issues with any aspect of the server, not just PD. I'll just take this time to hammer that home.
Yeah, completely.
The Discord tickets are there for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just three guys that are trying to listen to people's opinion of how they want it done and trying to find the best balance of that. Obviously, we have a kind of view of how we want to run the server, but at the same time, it's a server for the community to play on, so if you feel that something isn't right or isn't making you comfortable, just isn't working, work with us and we can make it better, I think. Yeah. So moving forward, let's talk businesses. We've got a few questions on this, which might get kind of bracketed together. How is getting a business going to work? What businesses are initially going to be open? Who will run them? Blah, blah, blah. And can criminals open businesses?
Well, we really want everything to be led by people's roleplay, essentially. Currently, there are some NPC businesses just to keep the city moving. So there's some food businesses that are run by NPCs. Again, if you want to, work there, we can get something set up. But the NPC is there it's just to keep the city moving, as I said. And again, if you have an idea for a business, we have the COC building down by the dockyard. There is a receptionist in there. Go speak to her. Send us over your business proposal, and we'll definitely get a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And a question that we get, we kind of brought up anyway. Criminals can own businesses. There are some rules around that. We don't really want front businesses where you can just cover up your illegal activities or, be too naughty, so to speak. But so if you're doing crime, just try and keep it clean, or do keep it clean as much as possible in the storefront.
Yeah. I mean, as long as your criminal activities aren't like directly related to the business, like money laundering or anything like that, and you get caught for it, you should be good. I mean, listen, You're going to be able to own a business and potentially money launder, but just be prepared to have that business taken away from you in RP if you get caught. As a server rule, no, that's fine. Criminals can own it. You just have to be prepared to role play out the consequences of getting caught.
Yeah, 100%. Sounds good. Okay, so one that a lot of people are probably looking for the answer to. How are cars going to be on launch, and is racing going to be a thing straight away?
I don't want to reveal too much on this because we have put some effort into getting a lot of new cars. You're going to have to jump in and discover what they are and how to get them. But what I will say is that there's going to be a selection of cars from all classes available from day one, and with more being added on each content drop moving forward, which we hope to do relatively regularly. But yeah, you're going to have to kind of discover a lot of that in the server as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we want racing to be a thing from day one. We're going to launch with a race event. Which should be good. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we're going to do that launch event on day 1 and 2, hopefully, because we kind of appreciate different time zones and just people not being available on each day. So we're going to try and do multiple race events with other little pop-up events as well, just over the entire launch weekend, I think.
Yep. And on that, so we do have custom handling for every vehicle, and that will continue for every one that gets added on each content drop. As always, this is something that we will be or have to monitor regular. But again, if there's something that you think needs adjusting, whether that be just normal cars, police cars, ambulances, whatever, let us know, and we can obviously take care of that as quick as we possibly can.
Got a big topic here. Money talks, right? How is the economy going to work, and how will illegal money flow into the system?
It is a big topic, and I think we're going to have to deep dive into that in another episode. To be honest, we could be here for another hour talking about economy in general, I think.
Yeah, I think we definitely will put that in another episode. But for now, we can say it's in a fairly balanced place. For what we're aware of, we think it's fairly balanced. It's not $1 million a day type beat, but it is not a second life job either. Nobody wants to work a day job and then come home, work another job just to get some in-game vehicle or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, as always, this is something that's going to be regularly monitored. So if there is an issue that you see with how quickly or how slow you're earning money from different things, let us know, and we can take a second look at it.
Cool. Okay, right. So we got some questions now on the kind of legal system, government jobs, very much the same as the kind of just the general businesses, really. Will there be anyone acting as lawyer or judge at launch, just in case someone pleads not guilty and wants to go to court? That kind of thing we'll discuss in the PD meeting tonight. But really, what is going to be in place, and how would somebody go about becoming a judge or lawyer?
Yes. So in terms of being a lawyer or a judge, we'll have a few staff members covering those roles just initially, just so people can get off the ground and decide where their stories want to go. But after that, we will open up applications for these roles to people that are interested in it. Just once things have settled down and people's found their feet and got familiar with everything.
Yeah, I think, just to interject on that very quickly, I think it's worth putting a spotlight on how that kind of legal system works in terms of you've been arrested, I've pled not guilty, you now have 5 minutes to get a lawyer, or you're just being fined and sent to jail. I think that is fundamentally flawed in itself as well, because it puts so much pressure on the lawyers to be available all the time. It's just such a short time scale. I don't think it's fair on anybody. It rushes the situation. It rushes the RP a little bit. I think maybe we're going to work on a bail system or something like that. Something that's a little bit more forgiving and inviting for everybody as well.
Yeah. I think that'd be good. It'd be good if we had like a Saul Goodman sort of RP character who could pump this out to people or something. It'd be fun.
Or if you plead guilty and there's no lawyer available, I don't think that should be the final. It's too much finality in, oh well, there's no lawyer, tough shit, you're guilty kind of thing. That needs to change, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'd be great for people who want to RP in the legal system, like this whole sort of judge and lawyer setup. I want to add that there will be a process for becoming a lawyer, as Jamie said, so that the role has structure and whatnot. If that does interest you, if you do want to get into that, then do open a ticket.
Yep. So we also got some questions on jobs specifically. So are there a range of jobs for criminals, civilians, and PD players? And what civilian jobs will be available at launch?
Somebody please insert find out IC for this. There's a lot to do on there for everybody. I think there's always been this view that PD have the PD job to do and that's it. And the same with EMS. There's nothing stopping you from clocking off and going off and doing any of the other jobs or putting in a business proposal. So you're welcome to do those. We are going to be expanding on specific jobs for PD and EMS that don't require other players to be online. So if you want to role play as a police officer, but there's no crime happening, we're going to be kind of introducing this solve a crime type thing. I don't want to put too many heavy spoilers out there because that's going to be a big content drop in a couple of months probably. But yeah, there's going to be more jobs releasing over time as well. And again, if you feel that something's lacking in a particular area, let us know, and we're more than happy to work on something.
Yeah, it's exciting for sure. And for criminals, there's going to be low level activities to start with. Just small time deals, stealing cars, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be fun. Another question about becoming staff. If you'd like to join staff and assist in that kind of capacity, how do you do that? It's a great question for those. Oh, sorry. It's a great question for those wanting to give back to the community. There's a lot of people involved here.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what we've seen already is just some people that we know and some people that just know 5M, new to the server, already helping people out in the general chat, which is great to see because that's what we want. We want community helping community. And it's been a completely non-toxic environment, which is also absolutely fucking lush. But if you do want to become official staff, then you're welcome to open a ticket and tell us that, or drop us a DM. You can slide in there, or just wait for us to put an announcement out, which is probably going to be early next week when we're going to be actively looking for support staff.
Just to jump back on the community vibe as well, it has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing people helping out and just, it's really, really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it up.
Yep. So talking on that'll be something that comes post-launch. We have received some questions about how things are going to be looking forward. So how are we going to shape the server after launch?
Mm-hmm.
And what are our priorities when it comes to adding new features or handling requests? I definitely feel like we want roleplay to be a huge part of that.
Oh, 100%. We're here for the roleplay, really. Yes, we're building on a game that we all know and love, and we're building custom functionality into that, but we do it as a platform to roleplay, so that's the core of it. And we want you to speak up if something's missing or holding you back in the RP that you want to be doing. That's how the server's going to grow. So that's how it's going to be handled post-launch. If we don't hear from you, then we're going to do the things that we think are cool. Maybe we'll put polls out and, maybe open separate Q&A type thing and just discussions, seeing what and prodding you for the kind of thing that you'd like to see. But if you don't talk to us and tell us what you want, then we can't grow that aspect from your perspective, which is what we want to do. So yeah, it's all going to be RP led.
Yeah, and just um, furthering on to that point, we are here to aid your roleplay, not ruin it. So if is something that you think I kind of want this or this would be cool to further my story, let us know and we'll try and make it happen. I mean, if it affects a lot of people, then it's going to be, if it affects a lot of people, sorry, and improves everyone's RP, then that is something that will get prioritized compared to something that just improves your RP, basically.
Similarly, with the lawyer thing that we were talking about, that's a massive roadblock in terms of RP, and that's what we want to be removing is those roadblocks. Yeah. I mean, over the years, we've seen things coming. Oh, I want to role play as a billionaire. Can I have some cash to start off like this? That's not really fair. And it is a strange thing. If you play a wealthy character, you feel that you should have all the money, but you kind of got to earn it in role play first. We're not just going to gift, a mansion and, and all the luxury things because that's who you identify as in role play. But yeah, mechanics wise, if you think there's anything lacking, just let us know. Honestly, it's an open door.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that kind of leads us on to the next set of questions that we've received. Will there be any lore or history to give the server a backbone or a jumping point? And will there be hints of major server events that are upcoming? Because at the end of the day, people do want the server to feel like it has a story and it's not just a game that we jump on to play.
Yeah. Well, this came up actually quite recently, and we'll hold hands up. It's not something that we'd planned to do. On kind of hearing the suggestion, we were 100% behind it. I'm talking specifically about the lore aspect of it. In previous servers that we've kind of met on before or separately worked on, we've all had our own role play arcs, and as development team we've kind of tried to put in events and lore into that, which have always been really successful and always enjoyed by communities as well. So that's something that we've kind of done from day one here. For those that have seen the trailer out this week, you're going to get some hint of the lore that's being put into the server, which is going to be ongoing, but a kind of a backbone that gives the whole community like a common goal. So it's something that we're really excited about.
Monthly events are in the works too. From day one, we do want to get a regular calendar of events up and running too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And if anyone in the community has any ideas for an event or wants to run one for themselves, go ahead. If you have the capacity to do it in roleplay already, by all means, create yourself a flyer, post it on the socials in game, and we'll create an in-character event channel in the Discord. Post the flyer in there or the advertisement in there as well. Just go ahead and do it. And if it's something that needs development or you think it will need developmental help, open a ticket and we can discuss it in there.
Just to jump onto that as well, with creating a flyer and stuff like that, if you can do that or any video work, you could always RP that. Don't be too afraid. Or I guess you could always in your ticket ask for that kind of help, and you can see what my personal capacity to do that kind of stuff, and anyone else who would.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid at creating their own kind of graphics, but there's some tools out there that help you do it very, very simply. We're on hand to help you with those kind of things as well, but sometimes that help is just pointing you in the right direction of the right tools that help you do it easy. Just kind of template driven stuff, Okay, let's move forward then. Similar kind of question in terms of RP led discussions, but this is more focused on gangs and clubs and such. The question, how much will RP influence groups like gangs, clubs and businesses? The question also mentioned focusing on RP rather than being a server mechanic or money-making tool.
Yeah, well, I think based off, our ideas and how we've we've laid out everything previous. We're all about roleplay.
Mm-hmm.
To get accepted as a gang, motorcycle club, any club, business, you'll ideally need to show us a solid roleplay concept, and that's, you know, role playing as a gang and not just a group of people robbing banks just to make money.
Yeah, and then asking for the tag of official gang. That's not how it's going to work.
Yeah, so we actually want these groups to add value to everybody's server story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's common sense, really. You know, if we're going to officially, quote unquote, officially endorse a gang as an official server gang, we don't want them to just, you know, log on to rob a bank and that's it. We want them to integrate into the community and you know, help everybody in the way that suits their character.
Yeah, we want people to have positive experiences, and it doesn't mean be friends with everybody. You know, you can have some of the best times I've had in RP are the arguments that I've had and the enemies that I've made in character, of course.
Yeah. So leading on with that, do we have any streamer assets made for Project Cypher? So this one is for all you content creators out there, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be putting some overlays, logos, and whatnot for streamers together, like a package kind of deal. It's obviously a really good way to promote the server and create a good sense of community, especially if we're all working together.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant for us as a server to grow. You know, you guys out there streaming and stuff like that. It's also good for your personal growth as well. So from our aspect, we're going to be, you know, working on rewards and perks for streamers as well. So like whoever streams the most in 1 month may get a certain perk. Maybe it'll be real life money. Who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, that's definitely something we're going to focus on moving forward.
Real life money, imagine. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so TebEx. What are the benefits of a TebEx subscription? And it's great to highlight any kind of perks for supporters and that kind of deal.
Okay, insert some jingle music behind this bit, I suppose. With a TebEx subscription, supporters get access to exclusive cosmetic items, priority queues, and a few in-game perks. It's our way of saying thank you for supporting the server. Yeah, so jump on the TebEx store and take a look. You know, it's all listed there. We're not going to have this as a sales pitch of everything that you can get. There's some new unique things on there and some stuff on there you may or may not have seen before. As with everything we've said above here, if you think you'd like something to be within there, or if you think there are any of those perks are lacking, let us know and we can work on developing them, give you value for your money. And yeah, I think that's it. Any other comments? Do you think we've missed anything, guys?
No, so I think overall, the crux of this is we want roleplay to lead everything. And again, we just want to hammer home, because I know there's quite like for some reason a weird stigma around it. If you have a question or an idea or just want a definitive answer on something, open a ticket and ask us. Like, we're here to help. We're not we're not going to be weird about it or anything like that. I know some people seem to think opening a ticket on a Discord server is a weird thing to do, but by all means, please do.
Yeah, do it, and try and minimize that DM kind of circle thread amongst people that goes on for months and months and builds that kind of disparity before addressing the issue. Let's nip things in the butt nice and early. If you see an issue, report it. You know, let's get these things sorted. Don't be afraid to suggest it. We're going to be respectful to you in the tickets, as long as you are, you know, and that's kind of a rule for the server as well. If there is mutual respect around, everything's going to be okay. So I think we can call that a wrap then on this episode and the Q&A from the community. So thank you to everybody that did put questions in. Thank you to everybody that's helped us with beta testing, everybody that's helped us with the trailer, getting that out as well. It's been massively helpful. Moving forward, we are going to go more in depth into specifics, but as this was the first episode, there was a hell of a lot to cover. So, yeah, just to close, big thank you to everybody for joining us, both here in this podcast and in the server. As Jamie said, just pop a ticket if there's ever anything you want to discuss, or if you think there's anything critical we've missed here, and we look forward to seeing you on the streets. Make sure to join us next time for more insights, updates, and until then, stay tuned and see you in the game.